So, who's ever searched for anything before on a database, on Google, maybe WebMD? I mean, whatever you're searching, you've searched for something before, right? Yeah. So there's kind of a process usually, right? Like you have to think about what you want to search for, maybe what your research question is, or maybe you just have a vague topic in mind that you want to find information about. So when we're searching for biomedical literature, maybe for a research paper or for patient care, we really have to plan. So we'll think of our research question, maybe think of a PICO. Has anyone heard of PICO before? That's good. Well, we will review to make sure that everyone's on the same page. And then, of course, you brainstorm different synonyms. Maybe if you're looking up cats, you could look up cats or kittens or felines to get a wealth of information. And then, of course, you have to select where you're going to search. Are you going to Google it, or are you going to use Medline? There's appropriate situations for both, so you just have to think about which one fits your need in that moment. And then, of course, we start searching so we can experiment with filters. Maybe we want information that's been published in the last 5 years, or we only want information about cats that are over 10 years old. I don't know. You choose what you're searching for, no judgment. And then, of course, you can modify your search terms and your filters as needed, and there's a lot of trial and error. So sometimes the first search you do doesn't work out very well, but that's okay. No one has to know, just try again. Or maybe your first search is perfect. Good for you. Now try it in a different database. See maybe if you get different or better results. So that's the research part. A lot of people forget about that step, but it's very important so that you can broadly cover the topic that you're looking for. And then, of course, you can find your full text articles so you can begin to read about the information that you found. So step 1, planning. We have our research question. It's preferable if it's clear and specific and inclusive. I think there's a whole session about research questions later on, so if you need help with that, check out the schedule. But then, of course, once we have our research question, for searching purposes, it's really helpful if we use the PICO method. So if you think about what's our person or our problem, are we looking at, in general, resident physicians, or maybe we're specifically looking at middle-aged women with migraines? You have to figure out what is your problem or your patient. And then what are you trying to do with that? What intervention do you want? Do you want to treat? Do you want to diagnose? Do you just want to kind of explore and find out more? Is there a treatment that you can compare? Maybe we're looking at what kind of cat food cats prefer or something like that. And then we have outcomes. So what do you want to happen? Do you want the cat to eat more food? Do you want the middle-aged woman to have less migraines? You have to think about everything broadly. So I have a research question for us today. Is exercise or mindfulness a more effective treatment for stress in resident physicians? So what do we think the P is in this? What's our patient or our problem or our population? Yes, resident physicians, that is correct. So we have our P, so what is our intervention? What are we trying to do? Oh, I guess the residents are stressed, so that's important to note in our problem, right? They're stressed physicians. So what are we trying to do to help them? Exercise or mindfulness, right? We're trying to solve their problem. So our intervention could be exercise and our comparison could be mindfulness. Which one relieves stress better? Maybe a 30-minute run on the treadmill or maybe a 30-minute meditation session. And then our outcome, that's pretty clear, right? We want less stressed out residents, right? Okay, so perfect. We have our PICO. We are ready to go to, well, here's just a review. So stressed residents, exercise, mindfulness, and less stress. So now that we have our research question, we have to think about what database we want to use. If you all were searching to answer this question, what would you start with first? And it's okay if it's Google. Ovid, okay. That's a very good option. Anyone else? PubMed, also a very good option. So today we're actually going to dive into PubMed, but it's really nice because if you're searching Ovid Medline or PubMed, they're actually searching the same database. It's just a different interface is all. So you're getting the same rich, amazing information. It might just look a little different on your screen than Ovid may.